What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of RB67. You're here with Jedi Master Grady and Darth Crimson.
Absolutely.
We got news today, like always. Darth Crimson's got a theory for you guys today. It's a really interesting one, and then we're going to be talking about...
it's going to be a fun one.
Episode 7, The Force Awakens. So let's kick it off with the news. He's got all the news here, so...
So, we are a week behind. I'm just going to put that out there. So, a lot of the news that we pull up, you're not going to hear till a week after. We are going to be experiencing with going live soon, so stay tuned for that. But let's get the biggest news thing right out the gate. Dave Filoni has been promoted to Chief Creative Officer of Lucasfilm. Thank you fucking Jesus. I am so fucking happy about that.
Amazing.
This should have been done months ago, years ago.
And he still holds the vice president position, so I mean, he's probably gonna have full control of Lucasfilm Studios and
absolutely
just a matter of time. I mean, everything he puts out is genius.
And he said
is genius, like
absolutely. And he said I'm gonna be the one looking at projects going forward. This might be a sign that Kathleen Kennedy's reign is about to be fucking done.
Yeah, that means we're gonna have less things getting canceled that are actually good ideas, and then he'll also be involved in the creative process of those projects. So like even if, like that Dave Snyder film that you were talking about, that like all that stuff, like he's gonna have the yes or no on it, and he can help out with creative control over it and let them know stuff that isn't canon or stuff that they might need to change or something.
Absolutely. Here's the thing I didn't read in this report. He's been promoted. What's Jon Favreau doing? Here's the theory I want to put out there, and I want to see if I'm right. I think Jon Favreau, right now, going forward, is going to be prepping Dave Filoni to be the head of Lucasfilm going forward. That's the only thing I can see. Because you're giving him a promotion.
Vice president too, I mean.
They're giving them the test by being the chief officer. They're giving them the test to see if he can handle it. And if he can handle it, give him the studio. Give him the fucking studio. It can't be any worse.
Dude, if Filoni's president of Lucasfilms and Jon Favreau gets promoted to vice president, oh my God. That would be incredible.
Next thing on the docket that I really want to talk about for the news is the Star Wars Holiday Special documentary. It is going to be on Blu-ray and digital on December 5th. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Every Star Wars fan should watch the Holiday Special at least once. It's fucking awful. It's so awful that George fucking Lucas wanted it gone.
You're talking about the one with like Han and Leia.
And Earth Day, the fucking Life Day, and then they got like a weird like semi-pornographic like Grandpa Wookiee looking at like fucking exercising ladies and shit. I'm like, what the fuck are we watching here? We have some fucking random scene with B. Arthur from fucking Golden Girls singing some fucking song about the Galactic Empire and how she's against it. It's fucking weird. It's not very good. But they're doing a whole fucking documentary on all the crazy shit that happened. I'm actually going to pick that up on December 5th. I want to watch that shit. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to discuss it here if we both can watch it. Because that's something to discuss. Because the holiday special, oh my God. Fucking awful. So this is a back and forth I'm going to call. Just recently, Star Wars KOTOR. If anybody doesn't know that code word, it's Knights of the Old Republic remake that Sony PlayStation was actually developing. Has not been touched for a while now. A lot of people were saying it's dead. I would agree with you. I was saying it's dead until they said it wasn't dead yesterday or maybe a day before, saying it is still being worked on by somebody different. Microsoft, anybody?
That's probably the one. And like, if someone's going to pick it up, they're going to want that.
Because who's running with BioWare right now besides PlayStation? Xbox. Just saying. If Microsoft picks it up and runs with it, I don't care. If Sony picks it back, I don't fucking care. I just want to play the game.
Yeah, just make the game.
Knights of the Republic will always be one of my favorite games of all time for the simple fact it's an amazing game. Storyline alone is just fucking fantastic. Just saying. I only have one more thing for news. So Daisy Ridley was just asked recently about the new Star Wars movie that's coming out with her and Rey and building the Jedi Order. She really only had one thing of importance to say, in my opinion, and that was the story isn't going to be like what we thought it was going to be. Okay, listen. I want this movie to be good. I want to come out of this theater saying, holy fuck, Daisy Ridley, thank you. This is the Rey movie we needed. I want that.
Yeah. I want to love the movie.
But we've seen her 3 times, and it was fucking awful. But you know what, though? The Rey character in the Lego Christmas Star Wars special that they did, like, 2 years ago, Rey was fucking awesome in that. That character of Rey, that's what I wanted the whole time. She fucked up, she stumbled, she learned, she got better. That's what I wanted through the movies.
Yeah.
So maybe they tell her, hey, listen, people are liking that better, be like that. Of course, I'm going to be there opening night. It's a Star Wars movie. I guarantee you ain't got nothing going on opening night. We're going to go together.
Absolutely.
We're going to go together. So we're going to see that movie when it drops. I want to come out of this movie and like it. I want to come out of this movie and say, holy shit, what was that? I want more of that. Please, Lucasfilm, give me that reaction.
Dave Filoni should be involved in it, so...
yes.
Could be a lot better than you're speculating it to be, so...
Yes, because I, again, think Kathleen Kennedy's one step out the door, and maybe South Park was the reason why. I don't know. That was fucking hilarious, though.
It is funny that there's a lot of people that don't like her, and then South Park came out with that episode, and all of a sudden, Dave Filoni gets this promotion. Don't forget also, Phase 3 of the High Republic books was announced.
Yes.
So, you know...
Now, I don't know, and I pretty much stay on top of everything. I don't know much about the High Republic era because I never got a chance to get into it. I'm now reading the first book from the first phase. It's pretty fucking dope.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking dope. I'm liking what I'm hearing because I went through Audible. Audible, sponsor us, man. Come on. We use you.
Awesome. Yeah.
Sponsor us, bro. I picked up 2 of their books via Audible. For the first 2, because there's 3 books, I think, in the first one. There's 3 books in the second one.
Yeah, I think it's,
And then there's, like, I think 4 in this one. But there's other ones. I don't read the young adult ones. I only read the more adult storyline going forward. The big ones. That's where you want your main storyline. Everything else is, like, offshoots. Yeah. So...
And I think didn't it say that they released the first book of Phase 3, or did they say they just announced the Phase 3?
I think it's out already. I think it was early December. No, December.
Okay. Yeah,
December is when it drops.
The first book's about to drop, okay.
Yeah, December 5th, I think, if I'm correct.
I can look it up real quick while you're doing your theory and get that.
Same day, I think, is that drop of the documentary.
Okay. I mean, that would make sense. Yeah, that would make sense. But,
all right.
Let's dig into this.
All right. So I went down to the well, okay? And I'm going to I picked a theory this week that I can't wait to talk about because there's a lot of fucking cool things that I found out about this. It took almost 2 hours to get all the research. So my theory of the week is Snoke was actually Plagueis the Wise. And now I'm going to give you my info that I found and why I think this. I'm going to leave it up to you at the end. Hopefully you can take the stuff that I give you and you can think about it. And if you think it's true, awesome. If you don't think it's true, I understand. It is just a theory until someone confirms it. But that's what's awesome about these theories is they're not confirmed, but it makes you think. And it gives you good dialogue to talk with fellow Star Wars fans of what do you think about this? So I'm going to start off with the first point. When Snoke appeared in Episode 7, there was a mystery and a secrecy surrounding him. We didn't know nothing about him at all. We just knew he was somebody strong in the dark side and just fucking powerful.
Yeah, and all you see is the transmission of him, the hologram.
And he looked awesome.
Absolutely.
I immediately got Emperor Strikes Back fucking vibes because in Empire Strikes Back you see that big head of Palpatine the Emperor who we've never seen before, and then he's like Lord Vader, and it's like fucking awesome. Who's this guy? I got that same feeling with Snoke. Fucking awesome. Here's something that's very interesting about this, and everybody go watch Episode 3 after I talk about this and see if I'm right. Same music as Episode 3 when Palpatine talks about Anakin with the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Okay, listen to that music when he's telling them that story in the opera, and you see all the cool fucking things. He's talking about Lord Plagueis, and you hear the... Like, it's cool as shit. Eerie music. You get the same fucking music that you get in that scene in Episode 7 when you see him. Like, it's awesome. It's like, huh, that's weird. Now, I know someone's going to say, well, you know, John Williams just probably carried over of a dark theme. Now, I wrote about that, where I think it's not just some random evil theme. This cannot be a coincidence unless John Williams one day, and I'm talking about John Williams, the fucking epic god, the GOAT that he is. Not only did Star Wars, did Jaws, did E.T., and countless others. Poltergeist, like, John Williams is the GOAT when it comes to composers. Come on, you're telling me one day he decided, I'm going to be a hack for the last Star Wars movie and reuse this theme because I wrote it myself for the biggest trilogy of all time. Not fucking likely. John Williams is a GOAT. He's not going to rehash his fucking themes. There's a reason why he used it. We never found that out. What else? What's next? He knows what he's doing. Back to this music. He knows what he's doing. He's been doing this for what? 30, 40, 50 fucking years? Doing scores and making amazing scores. He would not fuck up Star Wars because he loves being on Star Wars. Come on,
he would have made a new score for it. Like,
Snoke regenerated. Now, did you notice this? When you watch episode 7 and you look at episode 8, it looks like his scars are gone. Now, I get it. They're going to say, well, you know, they're planning the fucking clones. They're planning the fucking clones. There was nothing about any type of cloning whatsoever in episode 8. But he looked regenerated. And remember what I said on the last episode. Remember what I said. I said John Trevorrow, when he was going to do episode 9. Snoke was the main villain. Okay, how did he look better in episode 8 than he looked in episode 7? That's very interesting. Think about that. With his regeneration, this is a power that only Darth Plagueis is thought to have, to create life. As Palpatine said it in episode 3. Episode 8 is definitely regenerating Snoke from episode 7. Go look at it. Look at both pictures of Snoke in episode 7 and 8. You're going to see.
Well, I think Palpatine knows how to do it too, because I mean he does say
he
that he learned
Plagueis.
everything from his master and then killed his master basically, and who knows,
Absolutely.
he might not have died, just like Maul doesn't die, and he uses that anger and stuff to stay alive and ends up coming back.
100%. Now here's the next point. The awkward panel question. If you remember at Star Wars Celebration, people were talking about Plagueis. Everybody kept fucking up. And somebody asked, is there going to be any mention of Darth Plagueis? Asked the person. As he says this, all 4 panel members is viewing and in view literally stop moving. Clearly tense, as if to suppress anything that might come next. Oscar Isaac raised his eyebrows, feeling a slight bit of surprise and shock, quickly suppresses it, and he says, in episode 7, maybe surrounding a certain staff. What did I tell you? The staff? What did I say last episode? The staff that Rey carries. Think about that. I'm going to keep throwing shit to you. Think about it. That someone finds? Is that? And then he stops. And Daisy Ridley catches herself. Daisy Ridley catches herself because she goes, is that? With an S. And they said, and then JJ says in a hurry, in a frantic fashion, he goes, look, Larry? And then JJ says, do you want to answer that? Larry being Larry Kasdan, who wrote episode 7. He says, I don't think I heard correctly. Is it Darth Vegas? Like Las Vegas? Totally diverting the question. Then JJ bites his lip in irritation. And then they tried to rush to the next question. If it wasn't Plagueis, why is everybody tense?
Right.
Why is everybody weird?
And they got surprised and stuff.
Las Vegas. What the fuck would that even come up? That is such a stupid fucking answer. Come on.
Deflecting.
And then they say in the episode 7, the supreme leader is wise. Huh. That's a weird phrase to say. After Darth Plagueis, was Darth Plagueis the wise? Another thing to think about. Because it's a nice choice of words.
Yeah.
Snoke literally just looks like a plague. He looks like a plague. He literally looks like he's diseased. He looks like a plague. Plagueis? He's sickly, ugly, and decrepit. Palpatine was too, but he was thicker and more ghoulish, and more mobile, less gaunt, less skeletal, and sickly. He looks fucking awful in episode 7. Let's just fucking point it out there.
Yeah.
He looks fucking awful. In 8, due to the regenerative, he looks better, but he still looks sick.
He's still.
He looks like a plague. He literally says Palpatine's line in, I think it was episode 6, when Palpatine tells Luke, "Fulfill your destiny."
Yeah.
What does Snoke tell Kylo Ren in 7? Fulfill your destiny. Again, nice choice of words. Just saying. Palpatine learned from the best. What better way to showcase Plagueis' influence than to show what he uses? Similar methods of conversation. Think about that too. Another thing to think about. Snoke looks like a mun, which is what Plagueis is. He kind of does look munnish, to be completely honest. Also, a mun is no longer canon, so really that doesn't really matter. Yet Snoke is pretty much mun-like. He actually looks like Palpatine murdered the shit out of him. So he could be Plagueis with that, because remember he said, "I killed my master."
Yes.
He does have a big slice down his head.
Yeah, and then the side of his face too.
Nobody said where that came from.
The side of his mouth is like a little like jacked up on the one side too, and everything.
Like I said, I'm gonna throw shit at you. I'm gonna make you think about it. That's what this whole podcast is about. Is for theories. I want to throw shit and make you think, because then it opens up a conversation with other Star Wars fans, and then you can have some fun.
He definitely looks like somebody jacked him up pretty bad.
And if Palpatine didn't successfully kill Plagueis, don't you think he would wait his time until Palpatine was destroyed and make his comeback? I mean, come on.
Make sure the only person who knows everything he knows is gone before he
knows the Sith weren't
and especially
gone.
If he has the foresight to know that the prophecy is going to be fulfilled, then he knows that he'll have his opportunity to rise back up.
Absolutely. And then also on it where Han and Leia both say Snoke has been influencing Ben Solo for quite some time. So after Return of the Jedi, when Palpatine falls, who says Plagueis wasn't in the background? Because Palpatine thought he killed him. Why would he tell him he's still around? Why don't he just lay back, let Palpatine do what he wants to do, and let him get his own end?
And where would this powerful Sith Lord come from so quickly? Like, if he was influencing Ben for so long through his life, then, like, that means that it wasn't that long after Sith.
If you think about it, when he says the time of the Sith is over, why wouldn't he start something new? He saw the Sith Order literally get destroyed by one man's fucking ignorance and greed and corruption. Why not end the Sith and start something new? And that's what they were literally doing, was starting something new. And I mean, what did he say in episode 8? He said, the Sith, the Jedi, it has to end. Kill it if you have to. That's a Sith line right now. Okay, the Sith didn't work. Look what Palpatine did to it. Kill it. Let's start something new. That's all I'm saying.
Instead of the constant back and forth battle, start something different.
And also, you know, if Palpatine did kill him, he does look like he can regenerate. And why can't he? Rey's a legit god. She can literally save people from death. Or
random creatures.
Why isn't on the possibility that this could be Snoke and he had the same powers and it took him a long fucking time to regenerate? Again, think about this. Brings up conversation. Common responses to points that people have said to me, and this is what I'm going to go on what I just said about no Sith. There are no Sith in The Force Awakens. And Darth Plagueis renamed the Sith after the pattern of Rule 2 got the better of him. Look what the Rule of 2 did. Palpatine fucking took the Rule of 2, went to kill him. Look what happened. Why not kill the Sith now and destroy the Rule of 2 and start something new?
Yeah.
He's not a Mun. Muns look stupid. Who want that to be the master of Palpatine? Of course they're going to change that. Disney Plus made their own canon. Why would they keep him a Mun? We don't know what Snoke is. We don't know what Snoke is. They never gave his like creature name.
Yeah, I definitely don't think he's a human. I mean, he's really large. I mean, you can see how big his fingers are and everything too. Like,
we don't know what he is. So how do we know what he's supposed to be if he's Plagueis? Plus, we don't know what Plagueis is. Because Plagueis is no longer canon. Well, no, Plagueis is canon because of episode 3, but we don't know what creature name he is.
The stories that we have and stuff.
So how can he not be Plagueis? We don't know what Plagueis looks like. They didn't bring him out yet. Who knows?
Maybe we'll find out more with the Acolyte.
Absolutely. He's an ancient being from the outer regions. Well, he doesn't have to be ancient. Plagueis is. Plagueis is ancient. When Plagueis died, who said he didn't just call himself Snoke and Plagueis is dead? From a certain point of view. We all know what that phrase is. Because didn't Darth Vader kill Anakin in a certain point of view? What can't we say? Palpatine killed Plagueis or in a certain point of view, and he survived and he became Snoke. Yeah. Just saying. Plagueis could have hidden out in the outer regions and manipulated Palpatine and sending the tools to build the First Order. Now, I think that's an episode 9 thing. I don't agree with that at all, even though that's in the research. I do think if the Unknown Regions was in episode 9 to begin with, and it ended up being Plagueis, he could have hit out there and started his own comeback because Palpatine's dead. What better way to come out swinging than with the final order? Dude, come on, that would have been fucking awesome. Take my money. That would have been fucking awesome. Come on. Also think about something. Clones are based off original people to look like them. Jango Fett was the clone species for Boba Fett, the clone troopers, etc. Snoke looks nothing like Palpatine. And that's supposed to be a clone for Palpatine? That wouldn't make sense. Not at all.
No.
Because so how does he look like that? If he's a clone of Palpatine, it makes no sense. There's no common sense there.
They manipulated it. I mean, they have some clones like in the Bad Batch. Those are all clones that are manipulated.
Do you ever notice something? We see the clones in Mandalorian in the vat tanks of Snoke. Nobody says anything. We haven't explained anything. We're just leaving it open for there. Come on. Think about it, people. Think about it. Let's see what's next. So why does Snoke look the way he does? Okay, again, like I said earlier, if Palpatine's right and he killed his master and he survived, he looks like he got fucked up. And I've read the comic books with Snoke in it, and he's fucked up in the comic books too. Who did that? Just saying. Movies mirror each other. Jar Jar, Yoda theory. Episode 5, we get the hologram of Palpatine. Episode 7, we get the hologram of Snoke. Episode 6, we get the villain to kill the Emperor to give Luke. Episode 8, we get Kylo killing Snoke to protect Rey. This mirrors each other. We don't know anything about Plagueis. I think George Lucas literally put the Plagueis name in there because we were going to expand it. Who's also running, who was big in power for Mandalorian going forward? Dave Filoni, okay? Mandalorian was his brainchild with Jon Favreau, okay? The Snoke clones. Who's behind that? Dave Filoni. Who is Dave Filoni the apprentice of? And this is real shit. You can look this up. Who was the apprentice of George Lucas? Dave Filoni. George Lucas has gone on record and say he doesn't like 7, 8, 9. He always wanted to put out Plagueis. Always. That's why he mentioned him in episode 3. Come on. Come on. Again, this is a theory. This is just me getting research, passing to you. It's what you think. Do I think Snoke is Plagueis? To be honest, before I get to the rest of this, I think it would have been a good idea. But after what they shit the bed with 8 and 9, I don't think bringing it now is going to do anything. Even if they confirm it, what is it going to do?
Yeah.
It literally, they shit the bed with it. Let's see. What else do I have in notes?
Unless Snoke is just one of Plagueis' clones.
Also,
Plagueis is still out there.
Also, think about this. Muns were very wealthy bankers. That's true. They're bankers, right? Come on. We have a casino planet in 8. Okay? If he was around, who's getting money? Come on. Let's be honest. So pretty much that's all I got. Here's my final think about that. All right, first, before I give you my final thought, I'm going to pass it over to you. What do you think? Do you think it's possible that Snoke is Plagueis hidden, and that was the original idea before they fucking threw it out the water? What do you think?
I think it's a good theory. I think it's definitely very possible. I mean, like you said, like the reason why he's all messed up is because he could have, like, Palpatine could have thought he killed him, but just like I said, Maul survives. He could have survived out of just pure anger and everything else, and eventually regenerated himself back. Waited for Palpatine to fall because he knew that it was going to come to rise up and take over.
Yes.
And why is Snoke so older looking and everything, but he's been mentoring Ben for so long? Like, where did he come from? How is he so powerful in the Force? He wouldn't have had a mentor to train him if Palpatine and Vader were both killed. So how does he know all this stuff about the Force? How is he so powerful?
When the Force is done at that point.
Where did he come from? That makes perfect sense.
Now, if we would have followed what Trevorrow said and said that Snoke was actually the villain of Episode 9, that would make sense. And if Palpatine did try to kill him, it would make sense. Because then he hid out in the unknown regions. Where's the final order? The unknown regions. Just when the Jedi was like, oh, we're good. We killed Palpatine. Well, his master was still alive. Now you got a fucking Force to reckon with.
Right.
Just shit to think about. So we are going to get into our Episode 7 discussion. I'm going to pass it off to him because I got a lot more. I'm going to let him go through his stuff. I'm just going to nod my head in times. I'm not really going to say anything because a lot of the stuff that I have, he has too. So I'm going to wait to give my opinion on it once I get to mine. So I'm going to pass it over to Jedi Master Grady and let him start off this discussion of Episode 7, The Force Awakens.
All right. I think this one's going to be a lot better than the last two, Episodes 9 and 8.
Absolutely.
We definitely have a lot of positives here. I feel like there was a lot of stuff in the movie that, like, I don't know, I guess I was kind of neutral on, where, like, it wasn't, like, something I really loved. It wasn't something I hated. But I definitely have a lot of things that I didn't like and definitely a lot of things that I did like.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go in order of the movie, how I took my notes.
Yeah, absolutely.
First and foremost, I love Kylo Ren's mask. Like, it's awesome. It's badass. When he takes it off, he's not like a bad looking character or like an evil looking character per se. So like the mask definitely gives it that extra like thing that it needs for him to look badass and evil. So that's one thing that I love. When he finds out that Poe gave the piece of the map to BB-8 and it's on Jakku. He wants this map so bad. Why would he leave it up to Hux to send troopers out there? Why doesn't he go himself? He goes himself to get the map originally, finds out it's given to a droid, and then he leaves it to Hux. Why would they do that? Why would he do that? If he wants the map that bad, he wants to get to Luke that bad, why didn't he go himself? Mm-hmm. Why did he leave it up to somebody else to get the droid?
Mm-hmm.
And then when he fails to get it, then he goes the next time. But he should have, like, I just feel like that doesn't make sense. He went the first time, lets Hux do, like, just, I don't know. It didn't really make sense.
Yeah, I agree.
I love BB-8. That's one of my pluses.
BB-8's shit.
I love BB-8. I love how he gets sad when he thinks that Poe dies. I love when he's having that little back and forth with Finn, and Finn gets him to tell Rey that's the Elenium system, and he gives BB-8 the thumbs up, and he pops the little flame out and gives him the flame.
Oh my god!
Up. I'm like, oh, that was cool.
Oh my god, it's awesome.
The Millennium Falcon, Han, Chewbacca.
Yes.
All of it. I loved it. I loved the way they got to it. The way that Han and Chewbacca found them, and they think that it's the First Order, and I just love that whole like setup there with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did a great job. Kylo Ren has a lot of temper tantrams. I mean,
oh my God.
I don't really enjoy that, and it just continues to happen throughout all the movies, and like, I get that, I get the anger and stuff, but yeah, the temper tantrams I think are like, I don't know, it's I just don't like it that much. Okay, then when they go to see Maz Kanata, And, you know, Rey finds the lightsaber and says she's not going to touch it or anything. I like that section of the movie a lot, too, when the X-Wings come in to save them after the First Order shows up. And and you see the X-Wings come in just basically slaying everybody. And you see and you see Poe with his, like, just doing all these crazy sweet moves and taking out these TIE fighters and shooting people on land. Like, I thought it was an awesome scene. I thought the action was great. Like, I really enjoyed that a lot.
Oh, so good. So fucking good.
How many times can Finn scream the name Rey? I mean, like, that's another negative for this one. Like, it happens so many times in this movie too. Like,
he's like a fucking lost puppy.
Like, that's like 40% of his dialogue through the whole series is just Rey. Where's Rey? Rey. What happened to Rey? Rey. Rey.
He just needs to shut the fuck up.
Like, dude, they could have done better. They could have done better. Like, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. At least he was, but before you get on that, at least he was less annoying in 7 than he was in 8 and 9. It got worse as time go on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
At least 7, he wasn't
it's
that
a few
bad.
Times. Yeah, it's not so bad. Yeah, absolutely. Another thing about BB-8, I love when he finds R2-D2 underneath the little blanket thing, and he's like trying to basically like poke him, and C-3PO's like, he's been in low power mode for a long time. I don't think he'll ever be the same. BB-8's all sad about it. Like, you know, I just like BB-8 through the whole thing. You know,
absolutely.
He's a great droid too.
100%.
So then you got, I mean, I feel like there was a lot more negatives near the end of the movie for me. So then, like,
that's how it always is.
You know, you have Rey, who doesn't even realize or know that she's force sensitive. I guess she realizes when Kylo Ren is trying to take the map from her mind, and she's able to read his mind, kind of. Yeah. But then she's able to do the Jedi mind trick right after that to the trooper, and like she's never had any training. She doesn't really know anything about the Force. Like she does. Like I just don't like that. Just like through the whole series, she's like teaching herself all these like tricks that like.
Piece of trivia question for you: do you know who that fucking trooper was that she did that to?
No.
Daniel fucking Craig, James Bond.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow, that's
there's been
cool.
There's been stars under Stormtrooper's outfit in every single one. Kevin Smith is also in Episode 7 because he's the one that's like, watch out when they're taking on Maz's castle. He's one of the voices there. Daniel Craig, him, and I think in 8 it was what's his name? Hardy. The fuck's his name? Dude who played Bane.
Oh.
Hardy.
Tom
Hardy, yes. Yeah, he's in 8. So I just wanted to throw that out there for any little trivia, like questions. Who was the stormtrooper that Rey used the mind trick on? It was Daniel Craig under that fucking outfit. Just saying. So
yeah. And then you have the scene where Kylo Ren kills Han Solo. And after that, you know, Chewbacca blows up the explosive and stuff, and then they go running into the woods. How the hell does he get ahead of them? Like, they're running away from the place. He's on the walkway. They leave, and they're running, and then Kylo Ren's in front of them. I'm like, what is he, Michael Myers? Like,
well,
you run one place, and
there is Force Run, but we've never seen it.
Right.
Except for once in Episode 1. That's the first time we've ever seen Force Run in a fucking Star Wars movie. Because if you remember in Episode 1, when they're getting out of that gas and they're beating the fucking droids, you see Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan just fucking take off, and you see them go just fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But again, if you're gonna do that with Kylo Ren, then fucking show it.
Right. Yeah.
Just saying.
Like they run out of the building first, and then all of a sudden he's just ahead of them, and you're like, you don't see nothing, you don't know what happened. And like, okay.
New power, force transportation. Get the fuck out of here. I don't even want to bring that up because someone's gonna hear that and put it to, hey Disney, we should do force transportation. Fuck you in that. Don't do that shit. Don't stop.
Okay, and then you have when Kylo Ren takes down Finn in the woods. Which I don't even see how Finn was even able to get a shot on him and like hits him in the arm.
Thank you.
Like he's never, but whatever. I'm leaving that alone. When he's trying to get the lightsaber from the snow, Rey's behind him, and it goes flying, and he just moves out of the way and lets it go to her. Like even if she was using the Force to get it, he would still just catch it, like, and not let her get it. So they should have had her on another angle, not right behind him. Yeah. Because it just doesn't make any sense. He literally just moves out of the way. When he's trying to get it, he just moves out of the way and lets it fly past him. Like,
again, it's Rey being Rey.
Well, why would he do that? I mean, it just, I don't know. It didn't make sense to me.
It's Rey being a video game character is what it is. It's fucking stupid.
So then there's another thing, like there's a lot of things in this series where they copy things from like the other series. Like,
yeah, because they mirror the movies.
The lightsabers.
Yep.
And they do the same thing again with the trench, basically, when they're trying to destroy the planet. That's the weapon.
Oh, they use the same song too.
You got Poe flying through the trench trying to get the thermal. Oh, geez, what was it? What was it called? That they were trying to destroy to take down the planet, thermal something.
The thermal detonator. Literally the same thing. They fuck it. Okay, I'm going to get into that when I get into that. Okay. Yeah, it's the thermal detonator thing.
Yeah, so,
same way as the New Hope.
Yeah, they do a lot of mirroring and copying. I guess it was kind of cool when Rey was fighting Kylo at the end, and then he mentioned something about the Force, and she basically takes the advice that she got from Maz earlier, and she closes her eyes, feels the Force, and uses that to start fighting back basically against him. And ends up taking him down, which I think that's it's kind of also weird that she's able to take him down, but at the same time he had just gotten shot and sliced by Finn, so he's definitely really hurting.
Oh my God.
See him, he's hitting himself at some point because he's like...
I love that scene because he was using what Vader said. Vader didn't say it. It's in the books where he uses his pain for the dark side. And literally you're seeing Kylo Ren go, boom, boom, like fucking awesome. I love that shit. Love that little touch. Fucking fantastic. Loved it.
And then the last thing that I have, how did Chewie find them in the woods?
I can explain that. Literally, the woods is part of the base.
Yeah, but how did he know exactly where they were? Like,
true point.
Into the woods. Finn gets taken down. She runs further, fights him, whatever. Comes back to Finn, and then like Chewie just shows up right there.
True point.
I'm like, how would he know that they were right there? Like,
yeah.
He's not Force sensitive. He can't like sense that stuff, but he just somehow knows right where they are and is able to save them before the planet explodes.
Movie magic, bro.
Yeah, it's just it's a little thing where
it's stupid. It's stupid. It's silly. It's literally silly. That I was like, whatever.
They could have at least had them have some sort of transmitter on them or something before that, so they knew whatever. Something.
See, something like that.
To explain it.
Something like that. It's just like for me, I'm just like, would it have been able to explain it? Yeah. Does it matter? Not really.
Right.
There's so many bigger issues.
It's a small thing, but still, I was like, how did he find them? But yeah. That's what I got. So I'm gonna pop it over to you.
And here we go. I'm gonna start with the pros. Kylo's fucking entrance, dude. That was the shit. That was legit the shit. You see him come down, and you hear the music, and the fucking thing comes out. He comes out in that fucking black mask, the fucking outfit. I was like, who the fuck is this? And I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm fucking in. Kylo being brutal. Now, this is all out of order. So, Kylo being brutal and holding the blasters back. When they were all shooting and he was like, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, yo, that's some shit.
At him and he stops the laser in midair, and then it's literally there until he walks away and then finally finishes flying through.
And and Kylo's brutal in this movie. I love that.
Killed them all.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, I gotta say this right now. This is one of my favorite scenes, and it's right in the beginning of the movie. And this is what it reminds me of. I don't know what it reminds you guys of, but the very beginning scene with the lights pop on, and you're on the transport, and all the fucking stormtroopers are just waiting there, waiting to go to war. Like, that reminded me of the scene in Saving Private Ryan when they're sitting on the boat getting ready to hit Normandy, and they're like, fuck, this is going to happen. Fuck. Literally, that's what I got out of that scene. They're just waiting there, ready to go, and as soon as they hit the planet, they're like, get ready. That was fucking awesome. Stormtroopers being fucking crazy and actually knowing how to shoot in this. It was a piece of fuck. It was fucking like, all right, these are not your daddy stormtroopers. They could actually hit shit. Like, and I love the PTSD with Finn too, is he wasn't going to kill anybody. He wasn't going to kill nobody. I like that. Han and Chewie, the first time Han and Chewie's on screen, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm almost 40 years old. Listen, I don't get very emotional at movies. When Han and Chewie came on, there's Chewie, we're home.
Yes.
Yo, I almost teared, man. I was like, fuck yes, this is what we wanted. Like, come on. Chewie's reaction to Han's death. Okay, and then blasting a hole through Kylo. That was fucking badass. All right? That was badass. Because how would you feel as Han's best friend if you literally just saw Han die? Chewie went crazy. I fucking loved it. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If it wasn't for the Force, that shot that Chewie gave Kylo, he would have been fucking dead.
I was just going to say that with how powerful that crossbow is. Like, you see it in the movie. He's hitting the ground near troopers, and it's making an explosion where two of them go flying in the air. He had a direct shot on Kylo Ren, so...
Okay, another thing I'm going to talk about is Hux' speech to the loads of troopers on the base. Now, I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you this right now. I get it. You know, seeing and hearing that the stormtroopers were supposed to be like Nazi Germany. There were George Lucas's idea of Nazi Germany with the Nazis and shit like that. They legit did a fucking Nazi salute.
Yeah, dude.
I was like, holy shit. I was like, did you literally just put that in a fucking movie? Like, I'm like, that's fucking risky. That's risky. Like, I'm just saying. Because I'm from a German family that, you know, had shit happen to them because of World War II. And to see that in an actual Star Wars movie was fucking ballsy. I'm not going to say I hated it. I'm not going to say I loved it. Because, you know, I feel indifferent to it because of my family. But I give you respect for doing it. Just saying. What's next that I really liked? Rey being engulfed in the Force. I love that shit. Seeing the blue and red. If you remember, there was a tint of red, but most of it was blue that lit up her face. And she engulfed herself. Now, I wanted that to be a one-off. Because you're engulfed by the Force, but you don't know about the Force. You just learned. How the fuck are you able to go forward and be Super Rey? But for the moment, for this movie, I was okay with it. I was okay with that scene. That scene was good. Now, I don't have it as a pro, but I'm going to take off of what you said. The Finn thing, was that a con or was that a pro?
Which
that
one?
He was able to fight Kylo Ren.
No, that was a negative.
Okay.
That was a negative.
I'm going to disagree on that one, and I'm going to tell you why. Because it was almost rumored, and it was literally at that point, Finn was Force sensitive.
Yeah, but with no training against somebody who's been training for that long.
That actually puts on
and
with
using
Rey.
the pain for anger or for power, like you said. So he should have even been
But here's the
harder
thing.
to take.
Here's the thing. He was protecting Rey. He was trying to protect life.
That's true.
The Force engulfed Rey.
That's true.
Why wouldn't it give him a little bit of a boost to try to help her? Because he didn't last long.
No, he didn't.
He didn't
he
last
got
long.
his shot off, and then he got.
And also remember too,
butchered.
Kylo was hurt.
That's what I
Kylo
was
was
saying.
hurt.
So, I mean, you can use the pain, but at the same time, it's also affecting his movement
And that's why I thought he was good for a little bit, but then Kylo was just like, "Fuck this," boom, and kicked him off the board. That's why I say I'm for him having that burst and be able to catch with him because he was hurt. Now, if he would have been able to do that with him fully powered, I would have said fucking bullshit. Bullshit. No, not at all. But because he was hurt and Finn was supposed to be Force sensitive,
right.
I'll give that a pass. It was a nice cliffhanger. I like where they ended it. I was down with it. So
Too bad they butchered the rest of it.
Here we go with my cons. Not as much as literally the pros, because I generally like this movie. I like where they were going. I like this movie.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad movie at all.
Before I get into my cons, it wasn't really cons, but it was things that I'm like, I was indifferent about. You knew there was something more with Rey that they just canceled into the next movie. Because Han looks at Rey when he's like, hey, you know, me and Chewie are going to need help with the Falcon. You know what you're doing. He wouldn't offer that to anybody. He doesn't know Rey.
Right.
Why would Han be like, hey, you know, come and help us. You can help with the Falcon. That wouldn't make sense. Because he doesn't know her unless he did. Unless Rey wasn't Obi-Wan Kenobi's granddaughter.
Or Palpatine's granddaughter, you mean?
Maybe, just maybe, Rey was Kylo's sister. Because they based off Kylo off of Jane and Jada. Solo. Because if you remember, in the expanded universe, Han Solo's son became a Sith Lord.
And in the Thrawn trilogy, Leia is pregnant with twins, which isn't canon anymore. But
so why couldn't they? Because there's a moment where he just looks at her like she's like, I've never seen something so green, when he goes to Maz's castle, and he looks at her with a look like, I wish I can tell you something. Now, if that was just a one-off, I'd say okay. What 20 minutes later?
It helps explain their connection, too, that they have.
And then 20 minutes later, she goes off somewhere, and Maz looks at Han and goes, who's the girl? Han doesn't know who she is. He just met her. Who's the girl? And he gives a look like, and then we leave.
And Kylo Ren has a line where he says, when he's reading her mind, where he mentions that, oh, you feel like Han is a father figure to you, blah, blah, blah.
Well, not just that. Let's pull that too. Let's bring Kylo Ren into this before I get into my cons. Look at what he says. Like, he's like, where's the plans? Oh, it's on a BB unit. Okay. And it's with a girl. And he looks and goes, what girl?
Yeah.
He's never met Rey before.
Right.
How the fucking why did he say that girl? That's a weird line of talking. Why? What girl? What are we not seeing? I think it was foreshadowed for the next movie, and when Rian Johnson goes, fuck it, it got changed. Who knows? Maybe they were separated at birth.
Right.
Okay, wow, I didn't even think about this. This fucking gave me chills. They say the movies mirror each other.
Right.
We had the separation of the twins.
Right.
On episode 3. Why wouldn't we get separated twins for that? And then we have separated twins in Return of the Jedi. You're my sister.
The Palpatine granddaughter thing and stuff.
I think, and I can't quote because I have nothing to back this up. This is just from watching the movies.
It's a little theory.
I think that they are related. They are brother and sister. And because Snoke, they knew Snoke was a thing and a problem, they separated them. Palpatine went after Luke. Snoke went after for Ben. Why would he say that girl? Why would he look at her that way? It makes no sense if they've never met each other. But
weird that Luke and Leia both have 4 letters, and Ben and Rey both have 3 letters.
And Rey is an awesome fucking pilot with not really having much training. Come on. Why Chewie is automatically cool as fuck with Rey?
Yeah. Chewie likes you a lot, he says.
Because Chewie knew her when she was born. I'm just throwing that out there. Okay, now on to my cons. Kylo's tantrums. Come on. Yes, it was funny when he's having that tantrum and the troopers walk in and they go, oh, fuck, nope, we want none of that, and walk away. Dude, the spoiled brat shit was fucking stupid.
God,
he's supposed to be brutal. He's supposed to be scary. Dude, you're a fucking child. That took me right out of it. I was like, really? Come on. Rey's mind trick. You know nothing of the Force, and you're able to do an amazing fucking mind trick out of nowhere? Really? Luke didn't even do it before he was a master.
She didn't even have her hands or nothing. She was just looking at him.
And he's just like,
tied down.
Oh, I'm just going to put it down. Oh, I'm just going to walk away. Fucking dumb. Disney dialogue. The fucking dialogue between Finn and Poe is just stupid. It is dumb. Now, I'm going to throw something out here that is a con, but it could have been a pro. With the dialogue that they had, legit, I thought Finn was gay. And I thought they were going to have a starting romance between Poe and Finn. Because that's the way it looks. The way they're really close right off the bat. If they would have made Finn gay, would I have had a problem with it? No. Cool. As long as you did it and it wasn't forced. I don't like when you force it. If it's organic and they're like, he's gay, this is the way he is, cool. I'm down for it. Because everybody should be having someone to look up to. I'm good with that. Never went anywhere, but...
Like a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Phasma having nothing to do. Dude, this is the beginning of the first part of Phasma. Literally, Gordon Christie should have never signed on to this movie. If you were going to do this to Phasma, why the fuck did you get Gordon Christie? She's a fucking Oscar-winning filmmaker, and she was on Game of Thrones, and she was amazing.
Yeah, what is she in, like 2 scenes in that movie?
She's in 2 scenes, and what did they do? Remember? We put them in the garbage disposal, the fucking compactor.
Thing. Is there a garbage compactor here?
Yeah, when I said that, I was like, stupid. Did I hate it? No, it was stupid. A lot of the stuff I'm going to talk about, I don't hate. It's just silly and stupid. Like I said, I generally like this movie.
It's the Disney touch
it's the silly and stupidness that make me mad. That's what are my cons, is they made me mad because you didn't have to do it. The scenes with the gangs and the creatures with Han and Chewie, like, it was dumb. It was dumb, okay? It was stupid. We didn't know anything about that. We didn't need it. You could have took that whole scene out. It still would have done well. You could have just had them meet up with Han and Chewie and take off.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, whatever. Scene with Han and Rey. That's what I was talking about. When he looks at her and he has that thing. The reason why I think it's silly, because I'm going to add on to what I talked to you about, it goes nowhere. Literally goes nowhere. We don't pick that up again.
Like so many things in this trilogy.
Han's death being too predictable. All right, come on. I'm sorry. The moment I saw Han walk onto that platform and go, Ben! And there was no railings, I was like, Han's going to die. Here it is. I was like, I don't even need to see the scene. But I'm going to put something out as maybe a theory later, after, that makes the scene kind of cool. Now let me ask you. Do you think Kylo killed Han?
No, I think Han, well, he asked him for help. And I think that Han knew that might be a way to help push him back to the light side. Like, he might have known at that point, like, this is going to put more conflict inside of him.
Because he knew Snoke wouldn't fucking trust him unless Han was dead. And Han knew, and I'm going to put this out there, it wasn't in the movies, I'm just fucking thinking about it. Leia probably told Han, something's got to happen. We got to turn the tide. What better way than to fucking sacrifice yourself for the beginning, for the end that we're going to get? Because it would mirror what they said in episode 9. He says the exact same fucking line. I know what I have to do, but I don't think I'm strong enough.
Will you help me?
Yes. And if I'm correct, didn't he say that in episode 7? Will you help me?
He says, will you help me? Yes. And then Han says anything.
Fuck that. Then that's true. In my opinion, that's true. Han fucking sacrificed himself. I won't think anything else, because that's it. Straight up, that's it. I'm going to just put it right there. That's it. Wasn't a fan of the cantina scene. Okay, I did not like the cantina scene. Again, we're shadowing A New Hope. This whole movie, as much as I like it, it's like the scene from South Park, the member berries. That's what this is. Because remember, we haven't had Star Wars in over 10 years. So I get it. They went way over and beyond with fan service. They didn't need to. I didn't like the cantina scene. I like certain aspects of the cantina scene, but I didn't like the cantina scene. I thought it was silly. I thought it was dumb. The music, they're like, we got to have a new one, which I understand. It's a new cantina, and they had that Jamaican. Okay, it was silly. Do I hate it? I really don't hate anything on my cons list. I just think it's silly, and it wasn't needed. Han knows about Rey. Okay. That's what I said earlier, too. He knows more than he's given off. The way he looks, everything, whatever. Also, Maz also acts like Han knows more. That's why, he says, the girl. Like, I think there was more to that. Okay, I'm going to say something really, really, really silly. Okay? I get it. We're mirroring the movies. Skywalker base. Are you fucking telling me the first Death Star gets destroyed by a small little thing? We shoot something down this thing, it goes whoop, and the whole base blows up. You would think they'd be smart. We're not going to do that again. They do the same fucking thing. Same fucking thing. They go in, we're going to shoot and hit the thing, and the whole fucking base blows up. Okay. And adding on that, if that whole base was blowing up, I think Rey's fight with Kylo should have been a lot shorter. A lot shorter. I don't know. Finn going toe-and-toe with Kylo. It's not really a con because I kind of thought about that after I said it and what I told him. I think because he was hurt and he was supposed to be force sensitive, he went toe-to-toe for a little bit, but Kylo fucking got the upper hand like he should and fucking hurt Finn and hurt him bad. He hurt him bad. Like, they said he was critical. Get him in that back to tank. I want to add one thing that's not on the pros or cons. I think it should have been added into the movie. It's in the actual novelization of The Force Awakens. There's a moment where Rey gets the upper hand and she's over him. In the book, that scene plays out. And there's voices in Rey's head. Kill him. Take your place. Kill him. Trying to get her to kill Kylo. I think that was Snoke.
Yeah.
I think that was Snoke.
Just like Palpatine tries to get Luke to kill Vader so he can take his place. And Vader, yeah. And he gets Vader to kill Anakin to kill Dooku.
Absolutely. So that's all we got for this week's episode, pretty much. Next week, we are going to go in, we're going to take a different discussion route. We are going to, for the next 3 episodes, we're going to discuss at the end of every episode 1 season of The Mandalorian, because we've been wanting to talk about that. We've been wanting to say what we like and what we don't like. I can't wait for next week. I want to talk about the first season because, in my opinion, the first season is fucking epic.
I love Mando.
Fucking epic. I mean, season 3, when we get to season 3, it's not as good.
Still good, but
it's still good, but it wasn't what it was up to par. I can't wait till we talk about season 2 because there's a scene with Bill Burr that I really want to fucking talk about. I really want to talk about. So until then, we will be back soon. Like I said, we are going to be toying with next week. We are going to be toying with going live. We're going to be promoting it a couple days before. We hope it does well. We hope we get good feedback. If so, then we'll keep going live. I want to go live because I think it's cool, and I want to be able to hear and see what you guys want to talk about. And if there's something that we're not picking up, like if we're talking about like season 1 of Mando, and we're talking and we don't pick up some, send it in the comment.
Yeah. And we can
send a comment and be like, hey, live. Remember this? And we're looking and be like, oh shit, this person, and we'll call you out on camera and be like, hey, this person brought up this. Great fucking point. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
So definitely stay tuned. We definitely have lots more to come. Until then, I am Darth Crimson.
Jedi Master Grady.
We will see you next time.
Like, share, subscribe.
Absolutely.